The Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to the show. It is already the 28th of March. Getting ready to jump into April. All that stuff. Hope you had a good day. I've got a couple things I'm going to share with you about my day. That I think you'll appreciate. All right. Also, I'm going to tell you in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, we are going to be switching to LibertyOneTV.com. LibertyOneTV.com. All right. So we are going to do that. Hello, Dan. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Deanna. I'm not sure why the delay is. We got a major delay going on here. Let me go ahead and reboot the Facebook page. For some odd reason, it's still showing me playing music and not live. That's really weird. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, Elizabeth and Dan, welcome to the show. That's really strange. Anyway, hold on one second. This is strange. Let me see what's happening here on this end. That's really weird. I apologize. I'm getting something strange on my end of the deal, and I can't tell if I'm on or not. I think I'm on. Let me go ahead and double check. It just something just went really weird on my page. I don't know what the deal is. Let me scroll down here. There you go, and it's still showing me just sitting there. Okay, now I'm on. I'm on. Sorry. Let me just double check, see what the delay is. I think I'm on. There we go. Okay, I am. Okay, welcome to the show. Here's what's going to happen. We are here. Hello, Deanna. I'm going to mention something before we start, and here's what's coming up on the show. It's a holy week for a lot of people, Christianity, the week before Easter, and an academic has taken it too damned far with an analogy of Jesus Christ, and I'm tired of this crap, and I'm not even a religious person. When you hear what this academic, who needs to be fired from a Jesuit institution, said about Jesus Christ, and I don't proselytize, okay, my faith is my faith, but I've had enough of this sickening crap. That academics they have no problem going after Christianity. They never go after Muhammad like this. So we're going to get into that. I've had enough. I've had enough. When you say that, your head is going to explode. Okay? Your head is going to explode when I share that. All right? We've got Donald Trump on the Second Amendment. CNN saying that there's no way that anybody wants to repeal the Second Amendment. I say BS. A lot of. I made a comment today on Facebook. You know, a lot of focus has been on kids being shot in schools. There are a lot of black kids in inner city neighborhoods who worry every day about getting shot outside of school. Okay? I'm going to talk about that. Maxine Waters' idiocy. Debbie Wasserman Schultz says that we don't have the right to bear bullets. One of the dumbest things said about the Second Amendment ever. And again, like I said, we have the story of the Jesuit professor saying and I don't use the word blasphemy lightly. Blasphemous, awful things. Do I believe that, like in radical Islam, this person should be killed? No. But I think this person needs to be fired from a Jesuit institution. So let me just tell you real quick. See this right up here? This is the show that I do at 6 o'clock. All right? I do a show first here, and I'm doing a show here on Twitch.com. All right? It is an experiment, and I'm trying to prove that we can create on another platform, since Facebook is screwing us, another content provider. All right? And I don't want to fall flat on my face. So I need you tonight, now even. Just keep watching. Don't get me wrong. But go to twitch.com/Rob Carson Show and just go to the top. And I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, will you please go there and just follow me, okay? I'm asking you this in all sincerity. And I'll tell you why. And you guys know me. We've gotten to know each other. I have been out of work for 1 year and 4 months. I don't know why. I'm looking for a radio gig. I'm very good at radio. I've also gotten very good at this. And for some reason, I can't find a job. And for those of you who've been out of work for a long time, you have to let the show go on, okay? And every day I come in here, and there are days, I swear to God, I just want to call in sick. And I'm not getting paid for this. I just want to say, I can't do this anymore. And it's heartbreaking to almost have to beg for rent every month. It's heartbreaking to, have kids who are on reduced price lunch at school. All right, I'm just going to be honest. But every day I come in here because I want to be here for you guys. I've been doing this, a little over half a year. And I wanted to be here for you guys. But I'm on the verge of it going away. So if you will just please go to twitch.com/Rob Carson Show and hit follow. I'd love to have about 1,000 followers to show them that it can be done. And I'm going to continue doing this every night. And I'm going to continue doing my food podcast on the weekends. And hopefully making a go of it. But I need you to go there, please. So I walked to the store today. I don't have a car. My son has my car. My wife has the other car. And I stay here all day. And today I needed to go to the store. And so I walked to the store, and it starts raining. And I get to the store, and I get a couple of things that I needed. And I go to the cash register, and I get in my wallet, and my bank card is gone. So I think it was another pair of pants. And I come home. I had walked home in the rain. I walked home in the damn rain. And I was getting pretty soaked, and it's cold. And I was having a personal pity party, And I this is, sometimes you wonder if things happen for a reason. I'm walking through a parking lot. The rain's coming down very hard. And for some reason, I've had my head down, and I turned to the left, and I saw this on a car. License plate said, "Have hope." Sometimes you wonder if it's a message. Sometimes you wonder if it's just, this guy was parked there at the right time. There are days it's hard to, guys. There are days that it's hard to have hope. But I'm just going to tell you, I put my heart and soul in this show every day. I come in and I get in my studio at 7 in the morning, and I work all day on and off, cutting video, editing stories, getting my take on things, so using social media, blowing up social media. Rob Carson Show on Facebook went to 340,000 people this week. 340,000 reached on Rob Carson Show on Facebook. Have hope. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to have hope. Twitch.com, Rob Carson Show. Twitch.com, Rob Carson Show. And we're going to switch over right now in about 2 minutes to LibertyOneTV.com. LibertyOneTV.com. Because Jeff Zucker has decided that he's going to destroy publishers on Facebook, and that's what he's doing. So what we're doing here is we are, providing this on another medium. You can become a member if you would like. You can watch live for free, okay? You can watch live for free. But if you want to be a subscriber, it's $4 a month. And that is pretty cheap, actually. So I wish you'd head over there in a couple of minutes, because that's where we're going, all right? All you guys, Stephanie and Leona and Dan and Johnny, join me over there in a minute, okay? Because I need to hear you. I need to see your comments, because I need to know you're there, all right? I'm here for you. You be here for me, okay? So here we go. We're moving over to LibertyOneTV.com, LibertyOneTV.com. In about a minute, I believe. There I am. I'm on LibertyOneTV.com as we speak. So please go over there right now. Please go over there right now. Thank you. Again, Twitch.com/Rob Carson Show. Please follow me. I'm asking you. I'm begging you, really. I don't like to beg. Ain't too proud to beg. Please. Please do that. All right. Let's talk about other stuff. And there's plenty to talk about. Donald Trump in the face of a doddering old man, a 97-year-old ex-Supreme Court justice, saying that the Supreme Court, the Second Amendment should be rescinded for a variety of reasons. He says the only way we can get true gun reform is to repeal the Second Amendment and rewrite it, which is radical, unacceptable, and unconstitutional and ridiculous. This is Stevens talking yesterday or Saturday in an op-ed piece in the New York Times. Rarely in my life have I seen the type of civic engagement school children and their supporters demonstrated in Washington and other major cities throughout the country this Saturday. And again, he's a doddering old man. This was an AstroTurf protest put up together by the same people who did Occupy, the Women's March, Black Lives Matter, all of that. That's all they are. It is an AstroTurf protest, and the kids are being used as puppets. The kids' hearts are in it. Don't get me wrong. It's an AstroTurf protest. Stevens called on student activists to urge lawmakers to enact legislation prohibiting civilian ownership of semi-automatic weapons, including the minimum age to buy a gun from 18 to 21 years old. Fine. Then let's also increase the age to vote to 21. Okay? Because you can't have it both ways, kids. You can't have it both ways. This is an exchange... I'm forgetting his name, Cuomo on CNN, talking about this call for the repeal of the Second Amendment, which Andrew Cuomo does not believe actually exists.
Oops. United States this morning tweeting that the Second Amendment will never be repealed. We must have more lawmakers. Who's calling for a repeal of the Second Amendment?
Well,
who's calling for it?
Justice Stevens did. But
he did not. It was in the context of a conversation about the fastest route to legal change. And, of course, if you didn't have a second...
Let's start that again because there was a little feedback. Go ahead.
Brother, and you got the President of the United States this morning tweeting that the Second Amendment will never be repealed. We must have more... Who's calling for a repeal of the Second Amendment?
Well,
who's calling for it?
Justice Stevens did. But
he did not. It was in the context of a conversation about the fastest route to legal change.
Okay, Mr. Cuomo, you're a jackass, first of all. Okay? And if you're saying that nobody is calling for repeal of the Second Amendment, look at the Democrat Party. You cannot be this clueless. Well, you can. You're on CNN. Did you know that yesterday, in fact, from Saturday through Tuesday, do you know what was trending on Twitter? Repeal the Second Amendment. That was trending on Twitter. If you talk to any of the idiots on parade at the protests over the weekend, the March for Our Lives rally, half of them probably believe we should, no, more than that, want to got rid of the Second Amendment. They do not believe, the left does not think we need to have guns. They believe this was crafted for state militias. They were wrong. You tell me that there isn't a giant amount of people who want to repeal the Second Amendment. If you think that's not true, you are high, ignorant, and blind, and deaf.
And of course, if you didn't have a Second Amendment, you wouldn't have Heller. It would be easier to change the laws. He's not a politician. He's not in office. He's not the head of any kind of significant group. It's a boogeyman, and that does not
Supreme Court justice that
does not breed unity. It's a boogeyman, and you know it.
No, it's not a boogeyman, you a-hole. You probably believe in the repeal of the Second Amendment.
Look, there have been boogeyman's on both sides, and that's the point I've been trying to get to, which is there are things
by the way, Rick Santorum,
that in fact can unify us, and what we see is demonization. You point to the right, I will point to the left. Look at what they've done to Marco Rubio. I mean, Marco Rubio's been out there trying to do everything he can to stop these horrific events.
That's not
engaging
true.
Young people. That is true.
That's not true. He's doing
true.
negotiations. He's talked about the kinds of bills. He's not working on any meaningful restrictions.
How do you know that? And what is meaningful for you, sir?
Of access. He is trying to do some red flag work. That's all good and fine. But do not put Marco Rubio out there as someone who's at the forefront of the most progressive ways to end these shootings.
This is the problem.
The most progressive ways to end this shooting. What is the most progressive way? They want to repeal the Second Amendment.
That we have here. If you don't agree with you on a particular solution that you agree to, that somehow or another you don't care about this, that's wrong, Chris.
That's
you
your
can't
take.
demonize.
No, that's what they're saying. That's what the movement is saying. They're saying if you don't agree with them, if you don't walk in lockstep with them, you are a baby killer. You have blood on your hands. Come on, man. You can't be this blind.
No, you can't.
I'm not
demonize
demonizing anybody.
Yes, you are.
How
You're
so?
saying that he doesn't care about trying to solve
I never
this
said
problem
that.
because
I'll send you the transcript of this. You're thinking it in your head because it's convenient,
Okay,
but it's
tell
not
me what
coming
you're
out
saying
of my
then, Chris.
mouth.
Well, tell me
what
what
I'm
you're saying
saying is access about who gets weapons and how is the fundamental question in this situation, okay?
Yeah, and by the way, you idiot, the system, the administrators, the government, local law enforcement, the FBI, they all failed, okay? No meaningful gun reform would have prevented this because the government already lost it 70 times. They missed 70 times. They could have stopped this kid from getting a gun, could have had this kid involuntarily committed, could have all happened. Didn't happen. And what does the left want to do? They look to the government for answers, even though the government completely failed in every way, shape, or form. If there is blood on the hands, it's on the hands of administrators, it's on the hands of incompetent police, and it's on the hands of the FBI. So done with this crap. And the left only looks, they only look at is as an opportunity to go after the Second Amendment. They had their, and I've said this before, they have had their magazine of ideology locked and loaded, and it's got a big clip. And whenever some tragedy happens, no matter what it is, the left is ready to jump in with some sort of a protest, some sort of an attack on our individual freedom and the country itself. Don't believe me? Let's watch this little piece from the idiots over the weekend talking about what laws they would like passed for guns, what meaningful gun legislation would actually solve anything.
I wish Obama had taken our guns. We wouldn't have had so many more school shootings since then. Hi, my name is Benny Johnson. I'm
First of all, let me just start real quick.
The March for Our Lives.
Let me just start right here. I can stop. First of all,
I wish Obama had taken our guns. We wouldn't have had so many more.
Okay. This man doesn't have a gun. This man probably has never fired a gun. This man, he says, taken our guns. Right there on his sign, it says, taken your guns. That's the truth. He's trying to say, it's taken our guns. This man has never had a gun in his life. He's a useful ignorant.
School shootings since then. Hi, my name is Benny Johnson. I'm here at the March for Our Lives. We've been asking people what specific legislation they want to see passed in order to reduce gun violence.
Listen to this.
Here were their answers.
I want assault weapons banned.
I would like to see legislation passed that bans assault-type style weapons.
I don't think that assault weapons should be for sale.
Banning assault weapons.
These are talking points. These are leftist talking points.
Have a ban on assault weapons.
Do you think they should be banned?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What about the ones that are purchased legally? What should happen to them?
We could do like Australia and give them back.
I wish Obama had taken our guns. Yes, you would be for confiscation.
And there he is. There's what he really wants right there. I wish Obama had taken your guns. That's nakedly obvious. He's saying, I wish Obama had taken our guns. He wants yours, baby. He wants yours a little bit more for these morons.
Of assault-style weapons. I would be. I don't think those need to be out in public. What about assault weapons that are out there now, that are currently
Here we go.
privately owned and legally acquired? What should happen to those weapons?
If I had my way, I know this is probably far down the road, but I would have them turned in.
The assault weapons that are currently legally purchased.
Here we go.
What should happen to them in this kind of a proposed system?
What Australia did was to gather them together and destroy them.
And people who don't give them up voluntarily, should they be taken?
If the law required that, yeah.
What do you think about people who wouldn't?
Gun confiscation. Where else has gun confiscation taken place? Just gun confiscation. Where did that take place? Germany in the 30s.
Voluntarily give it up. Should they be asked to do so?
Yes, they should be asked to, and if they don't, then you pay a fine. Maybe 10 grand would be a good start.
Maybe 10 grand would be a good start. You probably don't even make 10 grand a year, you moron.
So if they pay
I bet he smells good.
grand, would they be able to keep their weapon?
No, that's a fine. They take it away from them. They smash it, destroy it.
Smash it, destroy it.
And taking your assault rifle away because do you need it for?
What should happen if someone doesn't want to voluntarily give up their assault rifle?
Well, they don't have a problem legislating what I can do with my uterus, so.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The only thing, there's a child in you, you friggin' moron. This is probably one of those women who, you could, do the late-term abortion, do the birth canal abortion. She'd probably be all for that.
Oh, sorry. You might have to give it up.
Another bad talking point.
What about handguns? You have handguns there being snapped in half. Should those be allowed or no? That's a handgun, right?
Right. In my society, they wouldn't be allowed.
There you go. What'd I tell you? Repeal the Second Amendment. That's what they want. That's what they want.
For the Second Amendment, believe it or not, I'm for it.
Sure you are.
But our forefathers were talking about freaking muskets.
There you go. Okay, there's another talking point. They were talking about freaking muskets.
Not AK-15s.
Well, wait a minute. The ancient times. I mean, 200 years ago. Shouldn't we tweak the First Amendment a bunch? I mean, I'm sure there were all sorts of restrictions on public speech back then, profanity and whatnot. You know. It was written for whatever.
Get rid of the ammunition.
Jesus. I mean, I don't know. Can you see Jesus with a gun? I don't know.
No way. Fishes and loaves, no guns.
Jesus was a socialist.
Jesus was a socialist, you a-hole. Socialists killed 100 million people last century.
All right, Jesus would have a fishing pole, not a gun.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't ban the fishing poles. Finally, we have found an actual weapon of war. All right, we've been looking. Look at these weapons. Look at this weapon of war. This is terrible. How can they allow this?
Yep.
Ban them. Thank you very much for watching.
Very nice. It was a nice piece. And ultimately, what did it say? Ultimately, what they'd like to do is take away everybody's guns. They can't be nakedly truthful. They can't be. They know they have to be incremental. They have to be incremental. And in the meantime, they're just mental. They're just mental. All right. Like I said, we are live on LibertyOneTV.com, LibertyOneTV.com. Follow me over there. I know we're still here. All right, but follow me over to LibertyOneTV.com. And this is an interesting name. Abdelkrim Karim Jakhnun? Did I pronounce that bad? Did I butcher your name? I hope not. Anyway, let's move on from this, by the way. Okay? Imani Holt, this is a story out of the AP in Baltimore. Imani Holt was 10 years old when she saw a neighbor get fatally shot by a trigger man riding a bicycle. The African-American girl from a gritty section of Baltimore was so traumatized by the fuel drug bloodshed, she refused to leave her family apartment for weeks. Like many black teenagers in neighborhoods hobbled by generational poverty, she scrutinized the national gun control debate intensely because they're all focused on Florida. Said, I feel really bad they lost those kids in Florida, but like we go through shootings all the time. It's just that our shootings happen day by day because it happens on the regular up here. The world says it's really not that important. That's what she says. And she's right. The left doesn't give a flying crap about Chicago or Baltimore or Gary, Indiana or East St. Louis. Christina Martin, 17-year-old who lost 2 classmates to gun violence this year at Thurgood Marshall Academy in Washington, noted that the victims in the affluent Parkland community were mostly white and Latino, none were African-American. Said we should have got the same attention in return. I know. Hi, Chelsea. How you doing? Thanks for coming over to Liberty One TV. I do appreciate it. The gun violence is unrelenting in parts of Baltimore, a city that reached a grim milestone last year when the per capita homicide rate rose to 56 killings per 100,000 people. Hi, Dan. Thanks for coming over to Liberty One. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. And, if you want to become a member, it's only $4 a month. But you don't have to if you just want to watch live, okay? Even as XL Academy students prepared for last Saturday's March for Our Lives protest, gun violence struck again. 17-year-old classmate shot on a street corner. 3 bullets in the back. The deaths of 7 classmates to gun violence over the span of 15 months have left deep emotional scars. The students at Excel agree that their school, with a metal detector at the entrance, provides a sense of security, but the toll on their bodies and mind is significant. Nerves are on edge. It's hard to concentrate. Pastor Jamal Weathersby has presided over funeral services for a toddler killed in a shooting. 3 brothers all shot at the same time. He worries about the impact that repeated gun violence has on young people. There are so many people who are suffering silently, trying to internalize how their brothers, sisters, uncles, even parents are being gunned down in the streets. And I think it's something, no matter how long, eventually I believe it's going to come out in some shape, form, or fashion, whether it's depression or staying in school. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that, man. So this pastor says we openly criticize that we are privileged individuals and would not have received as much attention if it weren't for the influence of our city. That's the Florida shooting victim, by the way. Jacqueline Corinth, she said that. Because of that, however, we share the same stage and forever with those who have always stared down the barrel of a gun. But like I said, we are more concerned with the very rare incidents of a mass shooting in a school. And listen, that's serious, and we need to address this, and we need to security, background checks, okay? We need to secure our schools. We do. We need to arm teachers. The state of Kansas, where I live right now, they're saying that they're going to let it's certain teachers who want to volunteer carry in school. And I'm like, hell yeah, both my kids go to Kansas schools. I don't care. Leona says, don't get your blood pressure up. It's always up, girl. It's always up. Oh, this is a really dumb statement by Debbie Wasserman-Schnitz. That's what my friend Chris Plant calls Debbie Wasserman-Schultz. Wasserman-Schnitz is what he calls her. She says, you do not have the right to bear bullets. Okay? Said that at a news conference. The ammunition background check of 2018 that she filed on Thursday and that is going to be filed in the United States Senate by Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut will close the gaping loophole. Not a good thing to say about Debbie Wasserman-Schultz when you're thinking about her and a gaping loophole. Anyway, to require all buyers of ammunition to undergo an instant background check. The measure, if passed, would require all would-be purchases of ammunition to undergo background checks. So every time you need to get ammo, even though you got guns, you'd have to go through a background check. How's that make you feel? You're a hunter? You know, you're going out this weekend. You need to go get some shells. Background check. Background check. Unbelievable. She says there's no law to prevent people from buying as much ammunition as they want without so much as being asked for their first name and walk out. Really? No, you got to have a gun to shoot it. Federal law already prohibits convicted felons, domestic abuser, mentally ill from purchasing firearms and ammunition, but ammunition purchasers do not have to undergo a background check in most states. Got to have a gun first. You know? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Been a lot of people really, really mad about the census and the fact that Donald Trump's administration wants the citizenship question put in there. 12 states are suing the federal government for having the audacity to ask people if they're here, if they're citizens or not. Just because you say you're not a citizen doesn't mean that you're here illegally, okay? So there's nothing wrong with asking the question if you want a fair count. There's nothing wrong with asking if you are a citizen, if you are not. And by the way, you could leave it blank. Bill Clinton, his Department of Commerce asked about citizenship in the 2000 census. It was no big deal. It was no big deal. There's nothing wrong with asking people if they are citizens. If you have a household, the household is composed of a lot of different people. There's nothing wrong with asking if you are here as a citizen of the United States. It's not asking if you're here illegally. It's not. Okay, and I want to get your response on this because this is going to really tick you off. And this is about a Jesuit instructor. Theology program, Jesuit-run College of Holy Cross, has taken on a new tone ever since the school appointed a gender-obsessed chair of New Testament studies who claims Jesus was a, quote, drag king. Okay? This gets a lot worse. This gets a lot worse. Look at all the likes I'm getting. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Let it rain, baby. Let it rain. And again, make sure go up to twitch.com/Rob Carson Show and just follow me. That's all I'm asking. Get as many people as you can and just say, hey, follow this guy. All right? And you'll still be able to enjoy my show here, okay, on LibertyOneTV.com. And as long as we can here on the American Patriot. We also have American Journal Review on Facebook. But we need the backup of LibertyOneTV.com. And I am broadcasting there right now. If you're not there, that's where I am, okay? Listen to this because this is going to really... I'm just done with these people. Eleanor Riley of the Holy Cross class of 2018 argues in a March 26 article that Professor Tatsyong Benny Liu's unconventional readings of the scripture have brought a new theological perspective to Holy Cross. Ms. O'Reilly suggests that the centrality of sex and gender to his way of thinking about the New Testament significantly colors the way that Professor Liu presents Jesus Christ to students at the Catholic College. Here is what this Professor Liu has to say. Liu has argued that Jesus is not only the King of Israel and the King of the Jews, but is also a drag king, as presented in the New Testament Gospel of John. St. John's constant references to Jesus wanting water, giving water, and leaking water speak to Jesus' gender interdependency and hence his cross-dressing and other queer desires. I'm just done with this. I'm done with this whole gender identity bullcrap. Do you know how many people, what percentage of people in our society, what one out of how many are transgendered in our society? You want to guess how many? You're watching the news, you're thinking, or you're watching popular culture, or you're watching whatever, and you're seeing, they've got to be, 30, 40%? No. About 1 out of every 72,000 people. So you'd have to go to the Super Bowl. In the stadium, one person would be transgender. But our society is being consumed by this crap. If you decide you want to be a girl and you're a guy, that's your business. But don't you say this about the King of Kings. Don't you say this about the King of Kings. Reading everything through the lens of gender, Professor Liu finds sex in the most unlikely places in the life of Jesus. The episode of Jesus Christ washing the apostles' feet at the Last Supper, for example, is suggestive, like a literary striptease, and even seductive because it shows and withholds at the same time. This is the night before Jesus Christ died. This is the night before Jesus Christ died. Liu stated that in his gospel, St. John makes very clear that Jesus is a Jew, but he is less clear about whether Jesus is a biological male. Liu eroticizes Jesus' relationship to his disciples and even to God the Father, proposing that Jesus himself needs others to come with the Father. This son of a bitch needs to be fired. This university, the College of Holy Cross, needs to have its funding taken away. They need to stop. This eroticization can be found in Liu's interpretation of Christ's passion and crucifixion as well. This is where this is so ungodly sickening. I can't stand it. Quote, what I'm suggesting is that when Jesus' body is being penetrated, his thoughts are on his Father. He is, in other words, imagining his passion experience as a masochistic sexual relationship with his own Father. This isn't reserved for an obscure graduate seminar. They're offered. His thoughts are being offered to undergraduates. Okay? By the way, he continues to be held up as an example and bold successor to the learned and discerning tradition of our Catholic Jesuit college, according to Miss O'Reilly, who I mentioned earlier, Eleanor O'Reilly. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. This isn't. I'm not big into the blasphemy thing, but this is shameful to say this, to suggest this about Jesus Christ. Like I said, I'm not a great Christian by any means, but you keep your sick mind out of the interpretation of the life and death of Jesus Christ. You need to be fired. Dan, you're right. Sick. Honestly, absolutely sickening. There's no words I can possibly say about it. It's the worst thing I've ever read. It's the worst thing I have ever read with regard to somebody going after Christianity. I know, Linda. Yeah, totally disgusting. It's just, I just can't take it anymore with these people. I'm so sick of this crap. Oh, and here, listen to this. Listen to this. Pennsylvania Planned Parenthood Clinic thinks that Disney should incorporate a princess who had an abortion in their library of admirable women like Belle, Mulan, and Pocahontas. Pennsylvania Planned Office, they got some pushback, and they should, because what they're saying is just sickening. Planned Parenthood, Keystone, and these are sick people. They murder babies for a living. That's what they do. They murder babies for a living, guys. That's what they do. That's their moneymaker. The United States government gives them $500 million a year. This sick-ass organization. By the way, have you ever been to a Planned Parenthood office? They're always in bad neighborhoods. You never see it. Like, there's no Planned Parenthoods around here. I live in Overland Park, Kansas, Johnson County, Kansas. No Planned Parenthood here. You go to Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri, that's where they are. They're always on the worst parts of town. Always on the black neighborhoods. You know why? Because Margaret Sanger was a eugenist. Margaret Sanger was a racist. Margaret Sanger believed in the extermination of the black race. You didn't know that, did you? If you're well educated, you pay attention. You did. Margaret Sanger was a eugenist, racist, anti-Semite. She wanted the black race eliminated. Here's what these sick SOBs. And by the way, this is the leftist ideology. This is the leftist platform in this country. Listen to these talking points, because they encapsulate everything associated with the Democrat Party right now, everything associated with this gun movement, Occupy, the women's movement. Every one of these talking points comes from the leftist playbook. Listen to them. This, according to a tweet, Planned Parenthood, Keystone. We need a Disney princess who's had an abortion. Unbelievable. We need a Disney princess that's had an abortion. How sick is that, man? Where is your effing mind? We need a princess who's pro-choice, of course. Have any of the Disney princesses until now said they're pro-life? Was that in Aladdin with Jasmine? Did you say I'm pro-life? You freaking idiot. Leave your politics out of Disney movies. We need a Disney princess who's an undocumented immigrant. This is all, again, leftist ideology. This is what this is what's taken over the Democrat Party. We need a Disney princess who's actually a union worker. Of course, you got to be a union worker, because unions give 95% of their money to Democrats. We need a Disney princess who's trans. There you go. 1 out of 72,000 people in the country are trans. This trans movement, it is bought and paid for. Hi, Stephanie in South Carolina. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Elizabeth, also glad to have you here. Great. Oh, and Leanna, we were talking earlier about the license plate on the car that said "Have hope." I hope so. I hope it's a sign for me, because I could use a sign. Let's get some other stuff here. Did you guys watch the new Roseanne last night? I've got audio clips. I can't run video. It's got a copyrighty thing. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I will tell you that it was huge. It was 20 million people. It was bigger than the what's her name? The porn star interview, Stephanie Powers. Now, what was her name? I got one drawing a blank on her name. Yeah, you can tell I'm a huge porn guy. Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels. It was bigger than Stormy Daniels. Here is the opening of the show. Now, you'll recall in the end of the last show, Dan died. But this is the opening of the show where he's kind of explained why he's still around.
Dan?
He was sleeping.
What happened?
I thought you were dead.
Sleeping. Why does everybody else think I'm dead?
Funny.
You looked happy. I thought maybe you moved on.
They're up. I know it's only been a week, but I just can't get used to Darlene and her kids living in the house. I got no privacy.
Now, by the way, here's the thing in the reviews today. The reviewers like the show. The only thing they don't like is the fact that one character in all of television supports Donald Trump. One character in all of television. You've got all three networks anti-Trump. 91% of the coverage of Donald Trump is negative. You've got everybody in Hollywood, every late night show, every night is savagery against Donald Trump and his policies. Naked politics, particularly with Stephen Colbert. Every end, from every one end to the other, across the spectrum, all of the networks, there is only one character that is pro-Trump, and that is Roseanne Barr. And her show, and her Ruby, and her single character. Here she is explaining why she is a Trump supporter.
Hey, everybody. This is the first dinner together we've had as a family in a long time. Let's try to survive it.
Yeah. First, let's say grace. Jackie, would you like to take a knee? Dear Lord, thank you for this food and for bringing our son DJ home safe from Syria. Please protect his wife Gina and all our troops still overseas. But most of all, Lord, thank you for making America great again.
There you go.
No, it's okay, Darlene. How could you have voted for him, Roseanne? He talked about jobs, Jackie. He said he'd shake things up. I mean, this might come as a complete shock to you, but we almost lost our house the way things are going.
Have you looked at the news? Because now things are worse.
Not on the real news. Oh,
yes, I love it. I love it. Don't you love that? I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic. And by the way, the other night, watching on Kimmel, was it Kimmel? Yeah, it was Kimmel. Yes, it was Kimmel. I always forget which Jimmy is which. But the other night on Kimmel, she gave him what for? She gave him what for? Frank said you didn't watch the old. You know, I didn't watch it either. Dan says bring back Tim Allen's show. Yeah. Dan says wasn't impressed. I didn't see all of it, guys. I like that. I like that she's the only person saying it. You know, we get beaten down a lot. We get beaten down a lot as conservatives. And every day, you know, we turn to each other, okay? We turn to each other. We turn to places like American Journal Review, The American Patriot, LibertyOneTV.com. And we weather the storm. And we weather the storm. I want to mention this real quick, and here's another way you can help me if you wouldn't mind. I've got the wrong thing here. Let's go to Pit Barrel Cooker. Pit Barrel Cooker, ladies and gentlemen, right here. All right, hold on. There it is. Hold on. Let me find it here. My computer. I need a new computer. Here we go. Let's go to Pit Barrel Cooker. Come on. There you are. Jeez Louise. Pit Barrel Cooker, this is an American-made company. Made by a guy who got back from Iraq, had PTSD. He and his fellow troops were greeted by barbecue from some veterans, and he smelled it, and he, for the first time, felt I was finally home. Noah Glanville is his name, and he and his wife, Amber, built this company. They started in a garage, moved to a Quonset hut, and now they are selling them all over the place. And these things are built like you would not believe. And the thing is, they're this big old keg, and they got an 18.5-inch across one, and then they got the Junior. The Junior's perfect for tailgating, but you get this ashtray in the bottom of it. All you do is take one of these little containers, a charcoal, put it in there, light it, and then hang the meat in there, and shut it. And just close it and walk away and come back in a few hours. That's all you got to do. If you're smoking pork butt, I did those pork butts there up on the left. See that brisket on the bottom? I did that. See those St. Louis ribs over there? See that? What was that? Was that pulled? That wasn't pulled pork. That was brisket. That's a brisket sandwich. I was trying to remember when I did that. Anyway, that's my cooking right there, folks. If you go there and you order now, LibertyOneTV.com/cooker, we'll get credit for it. And the people at Liberty One, or people at Pit Barrel will go, holy crap, look at the power of this audience. The classic up there is $300. The mini is $229, and I'll tell you, they're worth every penny. They will last you the rest of your darn life. All you got to do when you get it, all you got to do is just see that little horseshoe handle on the top? That's the only thing you need to do. All you need to screw that on, and you're ready to go. It's glorious. LibertyOneTV.com/cooker, LibertyOneTV.com/cooker. And if you order one, will you take pictures and send them to me? Because I'd like to feature you on my podcast. And you know what? If you want to send me a picture just of you, hanging around, send it to me. CarsonOnTheRadio@gmail.com. I'll post them. I'd love our audience, you guys, to know each other. Okay. So if you want to write me, CarsonOnTheRadio@gmail.com. Send me a picture of you, your name, and where you're from. I'd love to feature you on the show. I think it'd be pretty cool. Oh, by the way, one more note. Another quarter. Another underestimated GDP. Last quarter, gross domestic product. This is the fourth quarter. Went up 2.9%, almost 3%. They expected 2.7%. Making America great again, baby. Making America great again. Making America great again. I hope you've enjoyed the show tonight, guys. Let me get that again. Here, right here. There you go. Have hope. There are a lot of people suffering, I know, and my family is. I'm hoping to make a living out of this right now. Like I said, I've been out of work for a year and 4 months, and it's as hard as there are days when the bootstraps won't lift you. You can't get a hold of them. You can't lift yourself up by your bootstraps. The last few days, they've been that way for me, and I apologize. I hope I haven't translated on the air as far as content is concerned. I think that I do good content, and I want to do it for you. I want to do as good as anything you can get on the radio, as good as anything you can get on the web. I hope we accomplish that. But the best thing about this, what we're doing here, is that I get to see you guys. I get to see you guys commenting to me. I get to see Joni and Christy and Liz and Alan and Dan and Frank and there are names I can't, and Stephanie, and just could go on and on and on. And we're weathering a storm. Facebook, a war against publishers, a war against conservatives, and we will weather this storm. We will. So, if you would send me a picture, I'll feature you. Okay. Oh, and also, I want to mention this just real quick. I know you've seen these before. I've got 75 designs on politically incorrect designs on a website called tpublic.com/conservatees. tpublic.com/conservatees. 75 designs. They're all politically incorrect. Some very colorful, very funny. If you could go there and order a T-shirt or order whatever, order bumper stickers, any of those designs are on there. 75 designs. A friend of mine named Sam Cangelosi and I came up with those, and we're very, very proud of them. Also want to mention, please, 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 now, if you would, go to twitch.com/Rob Carson Show. I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, please go there and just follow me. It's up in the right-hand corner. Just follow. Because I want to show these people on another platform. If Facebook is going to do this to us, then we've got other platforms. We've got Liberty One TV. We've got Twitch as well. All right? Okay. I thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's been a blessing, honestly. And I really, really appreciate, I'd appreciate prayers for my family if you wouldn't mind. Okay? In the meantime, let me just go ahead and I gotta grab one little button here.